they were horrible, but I don't regret them. They were just really low key and like
horrible.
Yeah, it's like nobody showed up, and it was all just, but it was fun, and it really helped build our like who we are now, you know.
Are there moments that stick out from your first tour?
Yeah, the first 2 shows, like I stayed up like so long, like booking these shows like 12 hours a day, just on MySpace, like trying to like get some sort of like a solid show date. We left Cincinnati, drove all the way up to Minneapolis. We're really late for the show. Like, we had to like basically take our gear and throw it on stage, play, and throw it back in. And then the next show is all the way down in St. Louis. I was like, oh yeah, man, we got 2 shows back to back. Let's do it.
Was that a sense of accomplishment after your first tour?
Yeah, as soon as we left and we're all in the van and our gear's in the trailer, it's like, oh, we made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what did your families think of this? Like, you know, in Ohio, in the middle of nowhere. Well, not really. Cincinnati's not really in the middle of nowhere, but, you know, like, not many bands come from Ohio. What were your family members saying to you?
They're really all happy. Yeah, they're really supportive. They love us. they
None of them told us to quit or anything.
They really. I think they're really supportive.
Well, they could tell like how serious we were. It wasn't just like, you know, like, oh, we got a gig at this bar. You know, we were like, I don't know, really working at buying ads and just really working hard at it. So I think they saw that and they were really supportive.
Yeah.
Was it different once you hit the road than it was when you were 15 and thinking about what touring was?
It didn't scare me though. Like I kind of expected it to feel different. I just didn't know how. So when I experienced it, I was expecting it to turn out nothing like I imagined. But I think because I was expecting it, it didn't affect me in the way that it normally does to people. Like, because I think some of the problem with the way, you know, you think when you're younger is like you think everything's easy and you're gonna get in the van and go play LA, and then next thing you know you're playing, you know,
arenas.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna walk in and be like, "Hey, snazzy band, I want to sign you."
Yeah.
Did you guys ever come across bands that were just so amazing that never really did anything?
Oh yeah.
Was that a frequent thing?
No, never. Rarely ever. Yeah. But there is every now and then that you see a band in the corner of nowhere that is awesome.
What about like early near-death experiences? I'm sure you've had a few of those.
One time we were coming over
the mountain.
Yeah, everybody knows this one. And you know, I'm sitting there driving. It just got
everybody's sleeping.
Yeah, everybody's sleeping. And I'm driving. We're on this mountain, so it's just really snowy. And also, I'm just doing 55. Like I'm still like kind of. It's just like just starting to become morning, so I'm all just kind of like all tired because we had a show that day and didn't get very much sleep. And I guess I underestimated like how slick the roads were. Next thing I knew, we just started fishtailing all over the place, like really violently, like not just kind of like ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like like I thought we were dead. I look in the rearview mirror and everybody's like awake, like.
Yeah. And then the van just goes into this like into the side of the road, and Norm hits his head on the steering wheel, and he's out. And like the horn's going because his body.
Wait, is it you actually hit your head on the steering wheel?
Yeah. And it wasn't bleeding or anything, but he woke up with like a huge.
The steering wheel wasn't bleeding either.
Yeah. But the horn was going, and it's like everything's just quiet. Like everything was all loud when it was spinning, and it gets hectic, and then boom into the ditch, and it was like. My ears were ringing, and then I woke. Yeah. Yeah. He's like just passed out on the steering wheel, and I go up and shake him, and there's nothing. And it just took about an hour for him to wake up. Once he woke up, by the time he woke up, the tow truck was there, and we were already out and stuff. But.
Wow. How did you guys hook up with Ferret?
This guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Our manager Jesse Corman knew our booking agent Nick Storage, who knew Carl from Ferret. So we all just kind of knew each other, and we all hooked up.
just
and
like
then
that.
We got down to business after we hooked up. Then we scheduled like an actual lunch, and like I guess he kind of found us online, and then Nick Storch was doing an imprint off of Ferret called New Weatherman, which was just something he was doing on his own. And I think he signed like Heavy Heavy Low Low, and he was looking to sign other bands, so he liked us. And
then we wrote and recorded Introducing, which was our second album, and that was out in 2008. We did a lot of touring then, or since then, and that's been really fun. And then we just recently got bought out by Warner Brothers. Recorded a new album, which will be out in early next year.
Is that intimidating to be on such a big label?
Yeah, but then when you meet the guys that work there, like,
it
kind of calms you down.
What was it about Warner Brothers that made you guys?
In our minds, we just really like their roster and their history and everything. And meeting them was awesome.
Yeah, the staff seems real genuine, and they're all about the band, and and they have good ideas too.
You're working on new stuff. Do you feel any pressure?
We're done with the album now, and I'm so happy and thankful, and there's nothing that I regret or never felt like it wasn't written in uncomfortable circumstances. It was just really awesome and easy and felt great and natural. When I listen to it, it makes me think of that. So,
are there bands that you guys have toured with that you just really love touring with?
The Fall Troy was probably our best tour so far. It was a small club tour. It was like 300 to 500 cap venues, and they were always just sold out and packed. And like the kids would just go nuts, and it was always sweaty and up close and personal, and just real like punk rock shows. Now we're on tour with like the Sounds, and it's like bigger venues like House of Blues stuff, and the shows are awesome. The band is awesome, but it's just a different type of show. It's not as like up close and personal. And I love Portugal the Man. I listen to their records all the time. Really, every band we've ever toured with has become our friends after the touring or during the tours. Like I can't think of one band that we really didn't get along with.
Yeah, we never really went on tour and made enemies.
And no matter who it is or what they sound like, you always end up liking their music just because you like them.
Yeah.
They're your friends, so you like it.
Do you ever have nights with Portugal where you guys are all just hanging out at like a bar or something and getting shit-faced?
There was a really awesome night that I remember in particular that was in like, I don't even remember where it was.
Was it that house?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh.
This was like, we played this like restaurant, and we had to play on like tables. Like it was like the stage was a table, and it was just like the weirdest thing. There's all these pictures of like naked ladies hanging up, and like there was this bar with a really weird waiter, and I just remember hanging out with Portugal the Man, and we were just buying each other drinks, and it was really awesome. It was a really bizarre night, and it was just really fun. And we got one night we got a hotel. They bought us a hotel room.
Oh yeah.
It was like one of those little old Western hotel rooms, like just one level, and we watched like something on TV. I can't remember what we were watching on TV.
I got to get back to the tables thing. So you guys were playing on a stage that was like a table?
Yeah.
How does that work? I don't understand.
It was really uncomfortable. Just if you can imagine like a couple restaurant tables pushed together with booths around the tables. Like it was just ridiculous. The equipment was stacked on like booths, and like kids were just like in the restaurant. Like it was packed, but it was just crazy.
Like pretty much it just fit the drum kit up there.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so crazy.
And it wasn't even really a PA.
Yeah, it was just like we were playing. It was so weird, and like it was in a restaurant.
Wait, where was this at?
It was like a little north, like kind of by Bakersfield, like as I was trying to think of it.
Like Fresno or something?
Yes.
Fresno. Sounds about right. I
Yeah,
could see.
Exactly. I remember now. Yeah, it was because it was something like it was kind of a popular city. Yeah, Fresno. That was definitely it.
Yeah, I remember that was just like the bar. It was the worst show any band could ever think about themselves playing, but it turned out to be like one of the only like shows that really genuinely sticks out in my head as being like it's like you don't notice it when you're doing it, but afterwards, like a year later, you're like, that's the coolest part of touring is just going to those weird places and playing those weird shows.
Any crazy nights at random people's houses?
There was this one night in Texas where we stayed in an apartment, like this guy's apartment, and they all kind of looked the same, so like we were all in there sleeping, and I think Daisy stumbles in from the van, and he goes in the wrong apartment, and there's some guy in there just watching TV, like half naked, and like just like gets really insulted that Daisy walked in on him, and like starts flipping out, and Daisy's like, sorry, wrong hotel room. Closes the door and
it's kind of a sensitive subject because you don't want them to like go online and watch it and have us bash their house. Like, wow, not having them stay there anymore.
That's true, huh?
Yeah.
You guys go back to Cincinnati and stuff, and when you guys are on breaks, is it weird being back home?
Yeah. You you get into a different routine.
Do you sustain yourself financially with this band?
Yeah.
yeah, recently, but not in the past.
Yeah.
It's been a long, hard road, and there's a lot ahead of us, but just now started to kind of get comfortable financially.
I like get like all these projects lined up that I want to do. Like, I could do this, do that, and do that, and then I get home and just like, just want to kind of sleep all day. But that only lasts about a week, and then I start getting bored and looking for things to do.
What about you?
Well, I have 2 kids at home.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely takes up all my time when I'm home because I don't work. Because if I were to get like a little job because I can't keep any awesome job with touring, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I just stay at home and be a stay-at-home dad, and it's really hard. It's weird being like a touring musician and a stay-at-home dad. It's like on 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. But it's really cool and inspirational, and it's fun.
How old are your kids?
Francis is 3 and Julian's 7.
Do they come to your shows?
Yeah, when we play Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, it's really fun.
That's awesome.
We go to the zoo, and the museum, and the aquarium, and the nature center. We have a lot of season passes.
What about Kings Island? You guys ever go there?
Yep.
Hell yeah.